Summer for this special council meeting. This meeting is called for the single purpose to consider the CEO recruitment process under council's meeting rules. No other business can be considered at the special council meeting. All members of council are present today except for Councillor Dillon, who's away on other municipal business, and Councillor Bowman, who had a pre-planned family vacation. Approval of the agenda. We have a motion from Councillor Santos, seconded by Councillor Vicente, to approve the agenda. All those in favor? Motion carries. Declarations of interest under the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. Do any members have a declaration of pecuniary interest under the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act for any matter to be considered on today's agenda? Seeing none, the clerk will so note for the meeting minutes. Reports. Report from Veronica McClay, Major Director of Human Resources, and Peter Fay, City Clerk, Office Administrative Officer, dated August 26, Chief Administrative Officer, Recruitment Committee, Terms of Reference and Process. Our next item is item 4.1 regarding the Chief Administrative Officer, Recruitment Committee, Terms of Reference and Process. We have a motion to receive the report that we can put on the screen, moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Santos. I think, Peter, you have a copy of that?
Yes, through you, Mr. Mayor. I've just received it, so I'm just opening it. Just bear with me a moment, please. Do you have it?
That's not the plan. We'll discuss the motion first. If you have any questions, you can ask questions.
Just trying to bring it up on the screen. I can't see it on yours. So through you, Mr. Mayor, just to clarify,
and just one amendment there.
Moved by you or seconded by?
Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Santos. If we could just adjust the dates in A to September 3rd instead of August 28th. Because that would actually be, I guess, today. And then September 27th instead of September 18th. And then change that to the following date. Push everything back a week.
So this would, through you, Mr. Mayor, this would be October. Yeah. This would be October
7th.
So through you, Mr. Mayor, just to provide some procedural advice, the first paragraph suggests that the committee is passing appropriate bylaws. Under the Municipal Act, only council can pass bylaws.
Can we adjust that?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, again, just provides procedural advice. There references a CAO job posting to be received. So is the intent, there was a posting, a draft that I received the other day. I don't know if this is intended to be that draft.
And would we discuss the draft in camera, or would that be here?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, it may depend. If it's a final job posting, generally job postings can be publicly available, but if there is discussion about amending it, that perhaps could occur in closed session. My apologies, I'm trying to provide advice based on just reading a motion I'm seeing for the first time. the terms of reference in the next paragraph that's referenced, are those the terms of reference intended to be the ones that are included in the staff report 4.1?
This will replace the staff report.
Okay. Mr. Mayor, I'm going to change the attached terms of reference to the following terms of reference, so it's
Yes.
yes.
And just to say, while Peter is just wordsmithing it, just to say that a 3-week advertising period, I think everyone will, that's interested, I think it's a smaller group that are in a position to apply for CEO. That 3-week posting would give everyone ample time to hear about it. I don't think we need an advertising period longer than that. I'd also note that after speaking to members of council, I believe it seems to be the intention that we'd have the permanent CEO in place prior to the regional governance election in November, and this timeline would ensure that by November that decision is made by this CEO recruitment committee, which is comprised of all members of council. So while you wordsmith that, we'll take some questions and comments. Councillor Fertini.
Thank you. I just think 3 weeks is not enough time. I think we should bring it forward. We'll give it more, so we give it more open space. I also maybe, I know the agency, did we select an agency already or not yet for the recruitment?
No, but we have we'll discuss that in camera.
Okay. Maybe we should also ask the agency for all the names who applied to go through. And it says here by October 8th, call of the chair. Who's the chair?
So as the mayor, I serve as the chair of the recruitment committee, and
is in government relations part of the chair?
no.
No? Okay. Okay, so I think 3 weeks is not enough time to give. Maybe extend it maybe to 5 weeks if we could do it.
If you go to 5 weeks, you do start to blend into that November period. What you could do is you could start at August 29th, so you get almost 4 weeks.
Well, the reason I'm asking is because we don't know what's going to happen in November with a region appeal. So unless we get that decision, I'm worried that we're not going to get good candidates. A lot of people won't apply. So because they're going to say, well, we don't know exactly what's happening with the region appeal. So if we extend it and then do the interview, then we can select after we got a decision from the province what's happening with the regions.
Yeah.
And then we could bring it, and then we could actually go through the selection and do the interviews.
Okay. Councilman Maduros?
Thank you, Mayor. I guess just a clarification on item B. Executive recruitment firm will conduct interviews and conclude by October 2nd, including reference checks. So do we as council get to see all the applicants, or is it the executive firm will select who they feel, I guess 3 to 5, interview them, and then after on to meet with the committee?
So the way it's done in the past is you will get a lot of applications. Anytime the city posts a posting, you'll get a high number of applications. The executive recruitment firm would weed out those that are qualified and those that are not, and we could certainly ask them to provide us a list of those that weren't qualified, but ultimately the top candidates would be interviewed by this recruitment committee comprised of council.
And so I guess through the mayor then, I'm not sure if any language, it would be, I think, beneficial that we see all the applicants because the executive recruitment committee, it doesn't say what they're gonna be shortlisting, how many people, and it doesn't sort of say, in terms of, I guess they'd be using the job description. So my understanding, or I thought we'd be able to, in the past, having been part of a selection committee, maybe Councillor Palashi can correct me if I'm wrong, that we got to see some form of book with all the applicants, and then we decided on, we proposed and recommended a short list in which they would interview and then have to come on to us. So that's just a consideration
Yeah.
for council, to see
So,
what they
so
think.
we can add that as a friendly amendment, that the full list of applicants be provided in the binder to council.
Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, Councillor Palashi.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I do have, I have some concerns about the timeline as well, but I'm not sure anybody around this table, other than HR or whoever we choose to be the headhunters in this, can answer any of my questions. I do have some in-camera questions that I'd like to ask prior to moving this. So if we could do that. Additionally, I'd also like some wording in here to reflect that once we've chosen our CAO, the committee then turns into what it did last time, which was or I believe it did last time, the CAO Performance Review Committee? Or was that a selected committee after we chose our last CAO?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, the last term of council, the recruitment committee did transition into a council-appointed performance review committee. However, at the start of this term of council, council has already established a CAO performance review committee. So there is a membership and a committee that's already been established, and that could be amended pending the outcome of this process.
Okay, so I'm okay with that then. I know there's wording in the job description currently that there's some reporting structure to that review committee. So I guess I wonder if that's still going to be worded in our new job description for the CAO. And also, I'd like kind of I don't know if I should ask this question in public. I'll wait, and if it's not a in-camera question, I'll ask it when we come back out. So I'd like to pass this motion when we come back out of in-camera.
As procedural, ask the clerk. Okay. Okay, so seeing no other questions, would we then move into camera now? Okay. Moved by Councillor Santos, seconded by Councillor Williams. The council proceed in closed session to discuss matters pertaining to the following: labor relations or employee negotiations and advice that is subject to solicitor-client privilege, including communications necessary for that purpose. All those in favor? Motion carries. We'll take a 3-minute recess and go meet in camera. In session, Councillor Fertinia Medeiros. After closed session, in the continuing interest of transparency and open government, I will report in the public session any outcomes from today's closed session business. As a result of our closed session today, I wish to report the following. You can put it up on the screen. Moved by Mayor Brown, seconded by Councillor Williams. Mayor's office be authorized to engage Odgers Burdston as a Director of Procurement in accordance with the purchasing bylaw to provide executive recruitment services for the position of Chief Administrative Officer under the direction of the Mayor's office and reporting to the CAO Recruitment Committee. All those in favor? Motion carries. Do we go back to the main motion now? This is moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Santos. question, Councilor Fatini?
Are we gonna extend it from 3 weeks to longer?
I would take it as a friendly to start on August 29th to make it 4 weeks. August 29th.
Well, it says August 28th, August 29th, so.
So it was September 3rd, so just making August 29th.
Oh, September 3rd?
Yeah. Instead of September 3rd.
And, I don't see.
So that's almost a 4-week period, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't see, in here that we're supposed to provide the whole list of all the people.
It is, it's,
Oh, sorry.
that was Councilor Madero's, okay. All those in favor? Motion carries. Okay. That takes us to question period, public question period. Seeing none. We are, that takes us to bylaws. Confirming bylaw, moved by Councilor Vicente, second by Councilor Singh. The following bylaw before council at a special council meeting of August 28, 2008 be given the required number of readings, taken as read and signed by the mayor and the city clerk, and the corporate seal affixed thereto, to confirm the proceedings of the special council meeting held on August 28th. All those in favor? Motion carries. Adjournment, just a reminder, we have our next meetings on September 11th and September 25th. Thank you for your respectful consideration and discussion today. I have a motion moved by Councilor Santos, seconded by Councilor Williams to adjourn. All those in favor? Hope everyone enjoys their Labor Day long weekend.